Hello friends, this is Pastor Artur Pawlowski. I am in Calgary outside of the City Hall. It's Calgary Municipal Plaza behind me, and of course, as you can see, there is some kind of a memorial that people made, and they started to do that before I went to the US months ago. And you know, nothing really wrong with remembering the victims of the past. I mean, that's fine. That's notable, and you know, we should remember about the atrocities of the past. And we have this famous saying, "Lest we forget." Of course, I think that we have forgotten already about what happened during the Nazi era and during the communism. However, what struck me here in this instance is the write-up. So I'll show it to you. I'll tell you what deeply touched my heart. So here you have a memorial made remembering the children that died because of the diseases, because of all kinds of different things, including abuse from the government of Canada, you know, decades ago. And some people made a memorial outside of the City Hall with this, and that's fine, it's okay. But here it is, a write-up that really struck me. Every child matters. Every child matters. Every child matters. And again, here we have the same thing. Every child matters. Secret memorial, do not touch. Every child matters. Here is what touched me. Every child matters in Canada unless you are in a mother's womb. Every child matters unless you are a little baby that cannot defend itself. Every child matters unless you are unwanted and you can be discarded like a piece of garbage for or in the name of convenience. Every child matters as long as you are considered unwanted, unneeded, inconvenient. And then every child does not matter at that moment, because you can do with that child up to 9 months whatever you want. You can murder, you can chop that baby's head off, you can chop it to pieces in the mother's womb, and that's all fine. That's okay, and that's lawful actually. In Canada, up to 9 months, you can slaughter, you can murder babies. It's all good, it's all kosher, acceptable, it's normal. I mean, abortion, Holocaust for the babies is absolutely normal in this country, and there is no protection of the law whatsoever. Up to 9 months, a mother can chop the baby's head off, and that's fine. It's all good. And the law, of course, and the politicians are all for it. There is zero protection for the babies in this country. Zero, nothing. And yet, all over this country, you got those little memorials commemorating the children that died decades ago, and suddenly every child matters. Every child. Every child except the one that is in a mother's womb. Then that one doesn't matter. Every child matters as long as it suits the politicians. Because this whole thing with this movement is a political thing. It has nothing to do with the injustice that was done to Native people all those years ago. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with divide and conquer. They're dividing people. They want you to be divided, just like Vladimir Lenin said in 1921, divide and conquer, divide the people. And that's why I decided to stop here for a couple minutes and address this, because I find this very, very, very hypocritical. Very hypocritical from the politicians, very hypocritical from the people that even brought those toys here, because I don't see those types of things outside of the Holocaust abortion clinic. I don't see an outcry over there where literally millions of children, Canadian citizens, are being slaughtered without the protection of the law. About 5,000 of children are being slaughtered in the city of Calgary alone, about 5,000 in Edmonton, and over 100,000 children every single year are butchered with the blessing of the politicians and the blessing of the law, the blessing of the court system. Over 100,000 citizens, babies, murdered without mercy, without rights, without law that should protect them. But when it suits their political narration, those politicians have no problem to spin the game and play it. All lives matter. All children's lives matter. Really. You bunch of evil, wicked, sick hypocrites. How can you say in one breath that you stand for children and in another you allow murder of hundreds of thousands of others? How you define which one can live and which one can be murdered, slaughtered? Which one we can mourn and which one we cannot? Because if you go outside of the abortion clinic and you want to protest that, if you want to stand there, you will be arrested. It's a bubble zone. You cannot do it. You will be arrested. And yet here, the same politicians are flipping the game, and suddenly they say to you and me that they do care, while for them it's just a political maneuver. That's all. So anyway, few words from me, few thoughts. Hypocrisy has again reached a new level. And those lying, deceiving, hypocritical politicians, one day they're going to face the judge of judges, and they will be accountable for every baby that they have allowed to be slaughtered and murdered. It's just a matter of when, not if, those people will be accountable. The mayors, the councillors, the premiers, and the prime minister, the members of parliament, the MLAs. One day, all of you, you wicked, evil people, will stand before the living God, and you will face His wrath, and hell awaits you unless you repent.